Devs Like Us community. Welcome to another episode of Devs Like Us. I am Clarence.
It's your girl JB.
Terrence.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm good, but Terrence is starting early.
I'm doing great. Awesome. How are you, Clarence?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain.
All right. So I heard we got a good topic today.
Yeah, we do. You know, we've all have been interns at one point of our life, or at least interns to the game. But would you say you've ever done anything that your company could blame you for?
Yes.
Good things. Yes, good things.
Good things.
Only good things.
You know, I'm not even gonna live that lie that Terrence is trying. I've messed some things up, or I was learning.
I've been fortunate to where it's like I've never been given access to like one click and you like stuff that's just it's only production stuff. Like we have like it's like 4 stages before it gets there, and it normally gets caught before.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, if you did, you know, was it customer facing? Was it kind of just, you know, internal? You know, I feel like what we have to discuss today, you know, this is a pretty big, I think a pretty big question. So for our topic today, we're going to be discussing where HBO intern is blamed for a basic email that was sent out to HBO Max customers. So apparently, and I think T-Man, you said you got this email?
I got the email, and as soon as I got it, I said, ooh, somebody messed up.
Not ooh, somebody messed up.
Yeah, I got it. And I was like, ugh. And what's crazy is everybody does those tests, but it's just like normally not connected to, you know,
to send straight to real people.
To paying customers, thousands of paying customers.
So could you say, would you be able to tell us exactly what you saw in the email?
Sure. It was basically, well, let me pull it up. Yeah, the title was Integration Test Email Number 1. So this was the first test of many emails. No, but only one came out. And so it just, and then the body was just saying, this template is used by integration tests only. That was kind of funny too, because it's like, this isn't integration. This is like production.
Live.
Like, unless I got developer access, this is like production. But but what's crazy is this is the type, like the comments I would put in my test. This is like exactly what I would say.
So do you think with seeing that, does this raise kind of like questions? I know you've mentioned before, you know, we've either made a mistake as an intern that, you know, we had to apologize for, but for, you know, such a huge company. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
My mistakes were also past being an intern as well. It didn't make it into production, but it was full-time employee.
Okay.
I was a full-time employee, but it made it in production.
Yeah. So does this, you know, for a company of this size and, you know, magnitude, you know, I guess it's easy to kind of just give anybody access, right?
For a company that size and magnitude, I would kind of expect more as far as a dev versus prod system setup, especially when you're working with interns and you have this many people that could potentially receive the email as actually happen. But this is a good lesson learned that happened publicly that will also help a lot of other companies learn. We should definitely get that dev system set up, because a lot of companies and teams in general will start projects and it's like, all right, let's just, you know, get our minimal viable product going. And they'll get that going and they never go back to create that dev side of that product. Mm-hmm. And they're always like, you know, we really need to do that dev. But they never get to it. And this could very well be what happened for them. Or they may have a dev system and the intern just like messed up and submitted to the wrong one. Because that could very well be a thing. And so I really hope they do have a dev set up because of the fact of how big they are and how like important it is. Like go test your stuff out on, some other system and have, a small subset of your users use it as opposed to all of them being your test subjects. So.
Yeah, I guess like for me, I do the more I see it, I'm trying to think of like the multiple scenarios that could have happened. But the first thing that comes to mind, maybe it was a clone the repo, didn't switch to their own test branch, and whoever accepts or approves the merge request just said, oh, it was an accident here, we'll go ahead and merge it in. Boom! Now you have users getting emails. Luckily, this one didn't have anything confidential, which probably would have made this an even bigger uproar.
Oof.
But I kind of just wonder, I know I've been at companies where we've had, production systems that are on a smaller scale with probably 2 or 3 users, but at the same time, they treated it as if thousands of people saw it. So, it had to go through its own approval process before, anything could get pushed to production. And then I just also wonder if it was just maybe, if they're pulling off of a config file, maybe the master list of user emails, the name is like 1 and the test one is 2 and maybe somebody didn't switch it.
That could also be.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. That it could be as simple as like saying the wrong tag, like calling the wrong tag name to it, and that being like, oh, these are test users or the integration users versus, oh, these are the paying customer user. This is Terrence and everyone else who has HBO Max.
Yeah,
Hulu and whatever else comes in that package. It was another one, but yeah. So I think so. I know personally for me, one thing that's different from my personal projects and like working with the teams that I've done in like for I guess in my career is that like locally I'll have different like. I used to have different branches. Like I'll do like, oh, this is just dev, and this is like a final type thing, and so I would have multiple repos in that, like multiple
branches,
remote repos. In I wouldn't even use branches when I first started. I used to do multiple, and that was like a horrible idea too because literally it's one wrong git command and like it could be sent to your final copy. So like. It's best to just have like when you're in development, like you only are able to push to development. Like there's no way a human should be able to deploy to production. Like you want it to go through all these automated tests and everything before it gets to production, and you want that to be automated. But I feel like emails can be a little different. Like I feel like it's a lot easier to probably eat like it's like it's basically there. It just went to, I feel like without knowing, I'm imagining like it's as simple as like calling a different contact list, which is kind of scary. So it's like, do you think there could have been others that can be at fault for this? As far
well,
as
that was going to be my next question because I was kind of wondering, is the intern just the fall guy? And, could have been somebody, a senior dev that did something like this?
Mentor was sleeping.
Yeah, like, because I mean, it's easy enough to blame somebody who's only there for a period of time and, it's like, oh, they're only here for a little while. And then it also makes me think that, like, if it was an intern, like, how do you put this on your resume? Is it glorified?
I learned my lesson. I will never do this to your company. At this point, I say own it.
Yeah.
Own it and use it as kind of like the stepping stone for your career. And I'm saying that in the sense of like, all right, this is a mistake I made. I learned from it. I'm doing better. And, you're a more careful developer in the sense of you're double checking, maybe even sometimes triple checking, make sure that, all right, this is supposed to go where, this is how this is supposed to go. And, you even maybe even having somebody else check behind you, but that can get annoying at some point. But just doing all the precautionary steps and like going into the interview and it's like, oh, I see you had, an internship at HBO Max during that summer. Yeah, that was me. but and you kind of go through it because they always ask you about what kind of developer you are in your interviews, and so this is your way to really get that conversation rolling, and even start off with a funny moment.
Right.
So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
T-Man, any more thoughts?
Kudos to the HBO Max team, because at least you know that if you're an intern there, you're going to be doing real stuff. Like, this is real
Right.
life.
For sure.
This is
like
no
no
pet
coffee
project off to the side. You're going to have access to integration,
Yeah, for sure.
aka production.
Yeah, it also, I guess, I know, of course, as you see, a lot of people have been pouring out for support for the the young intern and stuff like that. But one of the other things, I guess, that makes me wonder is that, and I know JB spoke on it earlier, but like code reviews, like I've been to big companies who you thought there was a process, or like what we've been taught in school, and then like you get there and everybody has like this one task, but from a bigger org, I guess, perspective, so many of those little small things like slip through the cracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the fact that he said integration tests, they have separation there. It's just,
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that it was an email is like, it's literally, you're using the same code, but it's like different data set. Like, the different,
That's
it
true.
was like
That's true.
test data versus, and it's, yeah. And I guess the only,
Then there's a question of like you were talking about automation. So what would make the automated test even stop on this test email? Is it because the word test is in it?
Yeah.
Because there can be emails that they send out about, hey, we will be testing such and such, so something will go down on the system. And so it's like, what in automation would even like stop on this?
yeah.
True.
Or what can you do as a automation test?
There could be
That brings
a
up another
check.
question.
Yeah,
Yeah, of
there
course.
could be a check where, like that, like those tests just can't touch that data. Like it's a rule to where it's like it's not allowed, and it like just throws the error. But it's hard to know without knowing like what stack they're using and which, like,
Yeah.
as far as parameters go. I'm pretty sure whatever it is, I'm pretty sure it's solved now. It's a
Or
lot harder to
could
do
just,
now.
like, yeah, I'm sure of that. But like one thing they could have done is just like anytime that the automated system sees the word test within there, it's like, let me send this to a human to make sure this is supposed to go out.
Are you
type of
sure
thing.
you want to do this?
Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, look, it went through all the other proper channels, but you're the end all be all. This is your product. Do you want this to go out?
But you know
It's
how
like,
that goes too,
Of
though.
course not.
It's like
People get into
get
the
used to
rhythm
it.
of things, and it's like,
Yeah.
uh-huh.
Why?
Yeah.
Go. Why? Go.
Like, yes, I got a meeting to get
Exactly.
to. I don't care
Trying to
about
go to
this email.
lunch. Integration test before lunch. So, does anyone have things that they want to share? Or do you want to share anybody else's
I can
mistakes?
share one of my
I
stories.
wouldn't share one of mine. I always do
Uh-oh.
great things. I'm just playing.
Okay,
I'm
Terrence.
just playing, JB.
I always do. But no, I had a few years back. I was in a rotational program, and in one of my tours, I was tasked with taking a code set for a production system and rewriting it because they had it in a very like siloed approach. It was a querying tool, and like the person who wrote it for every database that they were even looking at. Everything was in this one file.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the heck is this? And the code language, Node.js, had never learned it a day of my life. And they're like, are you comfortable with learning it and then rewriting it? And I'm like, sure. And so I got to the process of learning the language, and then going through the process of like figuring out what was actually going on in this program so that I could make it modular. Well, I go through and all this stuff, and this was also my first time doing asynchronous programming, which is a headache. There's actually a website called Callbacks from Hell for this very reason. And so I went through it and I'm like, okay, I think I got it. Did a few like local tests and it's like, all right, let's send it to production. It
Uh-oh.
immediately failed.
Oh no.
Well, no, not immediately. It was up for maybe like 2 hours and we started getting phone calls. Like, hey, what's going on? Like, it's not working. Like, we can't even access it. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Oh no.
Mind you, when I first got there, I had asked if they had a dev setup, and they did not. By the time I finished that place, we had a dev setup.
Nice.
Because I was like, this can't keep happening. Like,
Clapping sound. Do we have a clapping noise? Everybody, let's clap it up for JB. Putting in a good system. Putting in a good system for a team that didn't have proper separation. After you left out,
and so,
oh. Sorry, y'all. Running low on battery.
Oh,
I always forget to plug it in.
I was gonna say, why do you always forget to charge your?
Okay, I just want to say, I'm glad you said
something. It's
something.
a new laptop. The other one didn't die as.
Oh.
What'd you say, JB?
Oh, you said something. Me too.
Yeah, that happened in Donovan's interview, right?
Yeah. I was at 15%. I'm glad you said something.
Yeah, so this one, it just like I have to know, like, it's very powerful, but all the stuff they added to it, it's like it's still the same battery. Like, so it's, they
Still
didn't,
a laptop.
Yeah, they didn't put a strong, like a better battery in. So this battery was for something that was not nearly as powerful as this.
I got you.
So like everything got upgraded, but same battery.
So do you think the intern? Do you think his battery died as soon as he pushed the code and the email went out?
He should get a raise.
It's like, oh.
HBO Max was trending because of this guy.
Yeah.
Some people were mad, but the developers, the engineers, the QA folks, everybody was extremely happy. They were like, they were just sharing great experiences about how they messed up. So all my mess up. So when
I was gonna say,
I've never been a part. I've never been a part of a team where you didn't have to go through 2 reviews. I never had access to like an email list like that. I've never had like access to that as part of like a code base that I interacted with. But I can see how like that could have been something that was like separate from all of their tests to where it could have easily been called. But yeah, all of my stuff I just get ate up in my peer review, my code reviews. This isn't making it. This isn't going. This is not even going into staging, let alone production. Try again.
Come better the next time.
Man, them code reviews, those used to like, but that's where you learn a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then when you
you also need to have good people doing the code reviews.
Huh?
Like you also have to have good people doing the code reviews because you don't want someone who's going to berate you. You want someone who's actually going to make it an educational moment of, hey, well, why did you choose to do this over this thing? So that you can really think through what it is that you were trying to do, as opposed to like I really hope it wasn't a situation where, someone like started yelling at this like intern, as opposed to, yeah, let's make a few little jokes about it, but not too much to where, now we didn't hurt the intern's feelings or anything. But, yeah.
I want them to do a commercial about it. I feel like HBO has enough money where they can do a commercial. Even if it's on YouTube, all of us will be able to watch it. Where they just, like, let him do a commercial. He's your marketing. What's the lady from Progressive? He's your Progressive lady.
He's Flo.
He's Flo. He is Flo. But yeah, those are good thoughts. So Clarence, what you got? Any other points?
I
don't have a story. I did have
somebody else's story.
No. So before I was a dev, as an intern, I had a similar situation, but we had this system that we used for basically our request, any type of incidents, general new requests, stuff like that. And so as an intern, I was in charge of basically getting an understanding of how it all worked and basically pass the information along to the team. Well, because of this responsibility, I was in it a lot. I had a lot of questions, a lot of basically, how does this work? How do you do this? And of course, with anything new, one of the main tasks when you are, moving stuff from the old is how do you, cleaning up stuff, right?
Mhm.
And so one thing that I did was we had all of this new stuff that had basically duplicated and or looked like duplicates. So my manager at the time was just like, "Well, find a way to clean it all up." Well, of
Uh-oh.
course, just like emails, there's this little thing that says select all, right? And so everything at the time looked unique as in duplicates, right? Well, I selected all and I deleted everything in it. and
Well,
and so,
I hope the undo button was still available.
there was no undo button.
Oh.
So what I ended up having, yeah. It's
That
like,
was the voice he heard. That was the one.
it was like, clean this up. So what was worse is that so luckily what I did find out when I did select all and clear all was that so there was it was different layers. So there's basically request or top layer, and then there's this task layer. Well, luckily I just deleted all of the task, but on the downside was that now that we didn't have tasks for these requests, well, that puts a hole in the whole process. So the rest of my internship was recreating all of the tasks for each.
Something tells me that wasn't the favorite part of your
No,
internship.
not at all. And I will say it was a good learning experience because to this day I have flashbacks hitting that select all, and it just
gosh.
ruined my life. I avoid it at all costs. I will take the time to, go through a few and, pick here, pick there for anything that I do. But, I rebuked that select all button. So stay away from it.
Man.
Go
The
on,
fact that you have
select
me
it.
crying right now.
Select them all.
Oh. Dude, hey, a lot of these look the same, so I should just select them all. Not all of them with this word, that word, just all of them.
No stone unturned. Select them all.
We're not gonna do like a find and replace, nothing.
And you know what's worse? As a dev now, I think like there's certain things that I look for when I'm building stuff, and that's one of them. I mean, for the ease of use. I mean, for it, to be able to view everything in one. You think about this now. I can't remember off the top of my head how many tasks this was included, but there were a ton of requests, so we'll just put that into perspective. But to be able to put everything in one page, select it all, and then delete it, I mean, like,
you really went through some steps. You really went through some things.
I don't know if we have
And
any
at no
Pokemon
point-
fans,
You gotta catch them
but
all.
you know how Ash, his job is to catch them all.
It's Clarence.
Clarence,
I'm gonna select them
you
all.
gonna select them all. But you learned.
I learned.
You gonna learn today.
Oh my gosh! Like,
But all of my mistakes, in production, have been when I was being lazy and I was a sole developer on the project. But when I'm in a team, it's been a lot harder to do it.
yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
And it's like
Yeah,
I
I
haven't
think-
had time to automate everything, and so I just need to get something to production, and I've made boo boos. But
Yeah.
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 Because that was definitely what mine was. We were basically a team of two, and we legit sat right next to each other. And he's like, "Looks good. All right. Well, you're the vet here, and
Vet just went out of town for 2 weeks. Somebody's got to push.
Yeah.
even had like on a Friday, whole thing goes down."
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
Whenever he goes to lunch, you're in charge, JB.
Let me just add this piece in here. It'll be fine. He doesn't need to approve. Oh
Yeah.
no.
That's funny. All right, that's some good
man.
stuff, Clarence. That's some good stuff. Any last?
Yeah. I all I can say is be mindful of your environment for anything that you're doing. Whether even if you're a solo dev, if it is your first time that this happens, you'll learn from it. You won't do it again. If you're on a team, sometimes everybody gets busy, so it's easy enough to just kind of, have your team member approve it and not really pay any attention. But just be mindful of what your surroundings are. What are you actually doing when you performing your code, and just be careful.
Take that extra second to think about it before you select all.
So, do you all have anything
before we close? Can we all pose so we can try to get a pics? Let's go. Everybody freeze.
Oh.
Or let's act sad. Yeah, that's gonna make some good thumbnails. All right, good job, y'all. Good job. Good job.
I didn't know we were still posing. I just hope you got the last one. I thought that was the best one.
Yeah.
But
don't worry, it's all recorded. He's just gonna
good.
take a picture of the
Oh,
recording.
good.
Yeah,
Good.
thumbnails.
Hopefully it's not milliseconds in between. But anyway, so
Nope, just a still picture.
Okay. So thank you again, Devs Like Us community, for listening to another episode of Devs Like Us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Be sure to tell your friends, your family, your cousins, anybody,
Aunties, uncles,
yes,
Bubba down the street, Dave from around the corner,
yes.
all of them.
Talk about us at your cookouts, family gatherings. Things are opening back up. Make sure that you're being safe. And but thank you for tuning in. I'm Clarence.
JB.
I'm Terrence. You can follow me on Twitter at @tpew_. Also, join our newsletter. We have our newsletter. If you go to devslike.us and click newsletter, you can subscribe to our weekly newsletter. We like to send out great information on events. And we even do some coding problems if you're looking to prepare for interviews. Also, check out our IG page on Instagram. We're there. We're actually posting good content there now. Check us out.
Yeah.
Am I missing anything?
So you just gonna promote yourself? Like this not a team of three?
I do have y'all Twitter handles under your.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
everyone has time
you
for their own
vocally
thing.
said your Twitter handle.
You could have said yours.
Mine is jazz_B_codes on Twitter.
I don't even remember mine by heart, so let me. It's underneath my name.
Yeah,
I'm working on putting content there. So.
You have to do better. So.
Also, we need more iTunes reviews. So give us 5 stars on your Apple iTunes for the podcast app, and leave a nice review. We like to read those, so you can leave that there, and maybe we can give you a shout out on the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't know. Am I redoing the outro again?
No, this is good. This is natural.
That's all.
All right,
That's
everyone,
all.
just walk out.
Thank you.
Just walk out. Walk out.
Drop the
This
mic.
is how we're gonna do it.
Have a good night.
Y'all can
Goodbye
stay
then.
here, but
right.
like this video. Like this video. All right, everyone, get out your screens. Leave. And then you can come back. We'll leave.
Okay.
All right.
I got my headphones in.